lovely people, my name is Emma and today I'm doing my March TBR and I'm going to attempt to do this in the one take challenge, which is where you do absolutely no edits or cuts in your video. So I'm going to cover the books that I'm currently reading at the moment. The first one I want to talk about is The Voyage of the Beagle by Charles Darwin. I'm listening to this on audiobook and it is his diaries from his journeys on the Beagle and his observations in a variety of different countries when he's out there. This is really good fun and I'm definitely enjoying it loads, but I've got like 15 hours of the audiobook left because it's a solid 25-hour thing to take on, so I'm assuming this will probably drift over into March. I'm also reading 2 books for the Booktube Prize Awards for the non-fiction category. I will link everything down below. There are a fair number that are going to get mentioned on this list. Because it is judging a prize, I cannot talk too much about them and about my feelings, but I can at least tell you what I'm reading. The first one is Savage Appetites by Rachel Monroe. Ooh, getting off to a good start for this no editing thing, aren't we? This is 4 true stories of women who are obsessed with true crime, and just a general look at the discussion around the true crime mania that very much seems to be kind of sweeping us culturally, and why it is that women are so drawn to it. Then I have The Ice at the End of the World by John Gertner. This is a mixture of a historical account of the expeditions to Greenland and the attempts to cross the seemingly impassable ice, and then also the scientific exploration that's happened up there and what it can tell us about climate change. So those are the ones that I'm currently reading at the moment, but I do have obviously a few more that I'm going to try and take on in March. I have a couple more books for the Booktube Prize. The first one being Laura Cummings' On Chapel Sands, which is known as 5 Days Gone in America, in case you're getting confused. This is a true account of her mother who disappeared when her mum was 5 for 5 whole days, but has absolutely no recollection of it, and it was like a massive secret in their family. So it's just kind of Laura's journey to try and discover what happened to her mum and sort of understand the cloak and daggers hidden situation in her family there. Apologies for that. I then also have How to Be an Anti-Racist, going to try and hold it up on my Kindle there, by Ibram X. Kendi. This is a look at racism in America and the argument that we shouldn't just not be racist, but we should actively be anti-racist, and we should combat racism wherever we find it, and the various ways that we can do that and be allies if you're not actually part of the cause, like myself, because I am indeed white. I started this on audiobook, but I really just didn't get along with the narrator. There were too many pauses and I couldn't find a speed that worked for me, so I'm going to give it a go on ebook instead. The last one I have for the Booktube Prize is No Visible Bruises by Louise Snyder. This is about domestic violence and the things that we don't know, specifically looking at some of the emotional domestic violence that there can be out there. So those are the books that I'm kind of reading for the Booktube Prize. I also have obviously a couple more that I do want to take on. I've got one buddy read that I'm doing in the month of March, and that is with Olive from A Book Olive. I will link her channel down below if you happen to have not managed to see her on Booktube. That is Spook by Mary Roach. This will be my 4th Mary Roach book, and I'm really psyched to get to it. Mary Roach tackles like very niche scientific topics, so ones that I've read recently from her include like life in space, or like what happens to human cadavers and the various different ways you can donate your body to science. This one is looking at the science of the afterlife, and I'm really psyched for it. I love Mary Roach. She's one of my all-time favourite authors, and I just find her way of writing so light-hearted and engaging and funny, and it's a really amazing way of conveying information, so I'm assuming that I'm going to really enjoy this one. It would be noteworthy if I didn't like it, so very excited here. Then we have the Classics community has a little bit of a read-along going along on Goodreads for Little Women by Louise Alcott. I've never read Little Women, and it is indeed on my Classics TBR for 2020, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to jump in, given that there is a bigger read-along going along across the community. I'll link the Goodreads group down below, and if I can find it again, the actual thread. They do have a schedule, which I may not stick to. I'm generally quite bad at sticking to read-along schedules, but I'm thinking that this will just be the prompt I have to read this. Hypothetically, if you've been living under a rock and don't know what Little Women is about, it is a classic following 4 sisters and just kind of their lives, and it's been made into a very successful movie recently with Emma Watson among many other people. So now we're just going to talk more generally about some books that are catching my eye. If I do manage to finish The Voyage and the Beagle in March, which I think I will because I tend to listen to about 20 to 30 hours worth of audiobook in a month, so that should tip me over nicely, and I'll just have a little bit of space at the end. I'm going to start listening to The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Laura Purcell writes very historical thrillers, and I really liked her book The Corset. The Silent Companion is her first one. I did start listening to it in audiobook I think last month, and I got maybe all of like 15-20 minutes in, but I just wasn't feeling the historical mood. I know I'm going to enjoy it, which is why I wanted to pause it and be like, I'm going to come back to you when I need you, and I think March might be the month for it. And then I'm also going to be trying to read The Man Who Loved Books Too Much. This is a non-fiction, oh sorry, it's by Allison Hoover Bartlett. This is a non-fiction and is a true story about a detective, a thief, and a world of literary obsession. Basically, it's a man who stole a lot of books and the detective who chased him. I'm really enjoying true crime that is non-violent, which is interesting now reading Savage Appetites, which is a whole discussion about women who like true crime that is violent, but I'm enjoying the non-violent side of it, and a lot of the kind of obsessive, more stealing artifacts and things of value, like for example the Dinosaur Artist or the Feather Thief. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I've had it on my shelf for now coming up to a year. It was a present from my sister for my birthday, and I feel really bad that I've not yet read it, so I'm gonna attempt to do that in March. I have a couple of short ones as well on my Kindle. Sorry for looking down, I'm just pulling up the covers for you so you can see them. Basically, I've got a little bit of a mini break in the middle of the month where I'm just going to try and take my Kindle, nothing really else with me because we're trying to limit packing. So I'm going to attempt to read This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is by Amal El-Mohtar. Sorry, can't read the font on that. And Max Gladstone, I'm assuming that's a translator in there. I don't actually know a crazy amount about this book. I know it was super cheap on Kindle and it's quite short, so a lot of people have been picking up, reading it and really enjoying it. I think it gets classed as like a novella, and it's definitely something to do with like sci-fi and time travel and things like that. So because of that, I'm quite excited about it, but I'm purposely trying to not really know too much going in, because I think it's going to be more fun to just sort of see what world building there is. The reviews I have seen have said like world building's really fun, but the characters are a little sparse, so don't know. And then the final one that I want to get to in the month of March is The Fossil Hunter. That's a terrible cover, I'm so sorry. By Shelley Emling. The Fossil Hunter is a non-fiction memoir, or biography even, get the right genre of non-fiction, and it is looking at Mary Anning. Mary Anning is one of the unsung heroes of the paleontology world. She was around in kind of the turn of the century, 1800s to 1900s, and she found a lot of fossils down in Lyme Regis that she then donated to various scientists and various institutions across UK, and she very much was one that didn't get enough recognition in her life for her contributions to the scientific community. So this is a story of her world, of her life and the world that she's helped to give information to. That was a terribly explained thing. You know what I mean. That's fine. We're not cutting any of this. I'm serious. She gets mentioned in every dinosaur book that I read. I actually went on holiday to Lyme Regis when I was a kid, so I think I learned a fair amount about her then, but I don't remember much of it, so I really want to jump in and read a book about her in entirety and give her sort of the space that she deserves in my dinosaur reading. So I think that's it from me. I'm assuming that there's going to be a few other random little mood read pick-up things in there, and I'm fully expecting, I've been kind of reading a semi-decent amount of paranormal romance recently, whenever any of the non-fiction that I'm reading gets particularly hard-hitting or difficult to handle, so there might be some of those chucked into March as well, so don't be surprised if they appear on a wrap-up. And that's really it from me. Have a wonderful reading week. Chat to you soon. Bye.